evening. I am Dema, President of the Board of Trustees of Pembroke Hill. On behalf of the school, I welcome you to this Head of School installation ceremony. We will begin with a performance of the Alma Mater featuring members of the upper school Madrigal singers, including Dakota Brown, Ellie Burke, Ellie Hughes, Jan Navarro, John Robertson, Cooper Starks, Gus Erdman, and Liam Weaver, and they are directed by Brad Shelley. Please join me in welcoming these students.
Sing now in celebration, in praise to Pembroke Hill. Ring out in proud ovation the truths you did instill. Forged of a new commitment, womb of the prairie sod, we follow paths of glory, your sons and daughters trod. We lift aloft your lantern in grateful loyalty. Your charge we carry forward, responsible and free.
Thank you for sharing your talents with us and stirring our Raider pride. Today's ceremony is possible because of the full engagement of the Pembroke Hill community in the head of the school's selection process, especially the advisory committee composed of faculty, staff, parents, and alumni. If you were a member of the advisory committee, would you please stand so we may recognize you for your service? I'd also like to offer special thanks to my fellow trustees for their vision, leadership, and involvement in the search and selections process. Would members of the Board of Trustees please stand to receive our appreciation for your commitment and service. Joining me on the stage today are Kimmy Odell Nelson, class of 1982, president of the Alumni Association and member of the Board of Trustees, and Rebecca Wilson, class of 1985, and president of the Parents Association. They are representing the important role parents and alumni play in the life of the school. Thank you for being with us today. I'm also joined by Brad Shelley, our new head of school, and his guest and mentor, Charlie Britton, retired head of school at McDonogh School in Baltimore. In the audience are Brad's family and special guests. Would you please stand to be recognized? This evening we mark an important milestone in the life of Pembroke Hill, the installation of a new leader. Over the last 18 months, we have had an opportunity to consider the school's strengths, areas for enhancement, and the qualities needed in Pembroke Hill's next head of school. Our conversations were generative and helped all of us recognize how fortunate we are to have an engaged and passionate community that cares deeply about educating each child, as well as caring for the school, its traditions, people, and potential. Through this process, we were gratified that Brad emerged as an individual of the highest character, who cares deeply about all those who comprise a school community, and who has been a collaborative and effective leader in independent schools, especially in the areas of innovative, student-centered programs, development, and strategic planning. The selection of the head of school is one of the greatest responsibilities of trusteeship. so it is an honor for me to represent the Board of Trustees in Brad's installation. I'm also honored to introduce Brad's special guest, who has had a meaningful effect on his professional life. As the head of school from 2007 to 2018 at McDonogh, and the head of school at the Cassidy School in Oklahoma prior to 2007, Charlie has helped shape the education and future of several generations of students. While at McDonogh, he was instrumental in creating Folio, a professional development program used by over 160 independent schools. He has served as board chair for Folio Collaborative and is currently a trustee of the Association of Independent Maryland Schools. He began his career as a teacher and coach at Trinity Pauling School in New York and has served as an English department chair at St. Mark's School of Texas and head of the senior school at Shadyside Academy in Pennsylvania. He currently serves as senior consultant for the head of school practice at Carney, Sandall and Associates. Please join me in welcoming Charlie Britton for his remarks.
Thank you, everyone. I am honored to be here. Brad called me a while ago and invited me to come and speak on his behalf, and there was no way that I was going to say no. Absolutely not, especially when I really said, you know what, Kansas City has got the best barbecue in the world. I'm here. It's my honor to be speaking tonight to give the congratulatory message for Brad. I've known Brad for a long time. We've been through a lot, and I'm thrilled to be able to share some thoughts on Pembroke Hill's new head of school. And one of the reasons I immediately liked Mr. Shelley when I met him nearly 20 years ago was that he was almost as bald as I was, and we bald guys need to stick together. Seriously, I first heard Mr. Shelley's name when Virgil Grantham, the retired and legendary Cassidy School basketball coach, came to see me in my office. I was a relatively new head of school, trying to figure out how to make the boys' basketball program stronger, and Virgil wanted to meet with me. Virgil didn't hesitate. He told me there was a Cassidy graduate teaching and coaching at Fort Worth Country Day who was a fantastic young teacher and coach. The best in the Southwest, Virgil said. So we hired Brad Shelley to run our annual fund and coach the boys' basketball team and do a bunch of other things for the school. And it wasn't long before we realized that we had made an absolutely great hire. With his friendly affect, sense of humor, integrity, fairness, and ability to connect and command the respect of students, faculty, staff, alumni, and parents, we knew that we had made the school stronger. And as you're soon going to find out, Brad's a great school guy. He's a wonderful school person, someone who understands mission and culture. He gets it. There's a school in Baltimore right now mourning the fact that he's in Kansas City. So their loss is your gain. And I'm so proud of him for how much he's accomplished. It was no surprise that not only did the annual fund start taking off, so did the boys' basketball program at Cassidy. More importantly, I began to realize that Mr. Shelley was one of the most uniquely talented educators who inspired people to do their best and who understood the often complicated dynamics of an independent school. Long story short, when I was head of school at McDonogh in Baltimore and our development director stepped down for health reasons, we jumped at the opportunity to hire Mr. Shelley to be our director of advancement. We hired him from Holland Hall School, where he was serving with great success as director of development. When he arrived on McDonogh's campus, he immediately began to build amazing relationships with students, faculty, staff, parents, alumni, and donors. He attended games, concerts, and plays, and relished being on campus. He stepped into a $75 million campaign, and he didn't miss a beat. At the conclusion of our fundraising efforts, thanks to Mr. Shelley's abilities, we raised $83 million. And it wasn't long after that I asked Mr. Shelley to be associate head of school. He worked tirelessly, overseeing building projects on campus and helping to build educational programs to make the student experience even stronger. Plus, even in challenging moments, his sense of humor was infectious, often making all of us in the room laugh despite the gravity of the issue at hand. I consider Brad to be one of the best people I know, and I consider him a great friend. We've spent hours and hours discussing how to enhance the educational experience for students. I can't tell you how thrilled I am that he has this opportunity to lead your school. I would be remiss, however, if I didn't mention that Brad's family is also spectacular. When the Shelleys moved onto McDonogh's campus, it was soon apparent that Brad's wife, Candace, was an awesome person, kind, caring, and giving. Candace helped make McDonogh an even warmer community, and I know that you will find her to be an amazing individual. And the Shelley children, Blythe, Braden, and Claire, are three of the best kids I've known. Your community is so fortunate to have the Shelleys, and I wish them the very best as they begin this new adventure. Thank you.
Thank you, Charlie. Brad Shelley has had an extensive involvement in independent schools, beginning as a student at Cassidy School in Oklahoma City. He most recently served as associate headmaster at McDonogh School, where he shared responsibility for day-to-day functions and oversaw development, admissions, communications, and operations. Prior to this role, he served McDonogh as Director of Institutional Advancement for 4 years. From 2008 to 2012, Brad was the head boys basketball coach and Director of Institutional Advancement with Holland Hall School in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Previous to Holland Hall, he served at his alma mater, Cassidy School, as a 9th grade advisor, head coach for boys basketball and girls golf, and Assistant Director of Development. Fort Worth Country Day School was his first professional affiliation with an independent school, and where he had multiple roles, including lower school physical education teacher, 8th grade advisor, and head boys basketball coach. He holds degrees from Trinity University and Johns Hopkins University. Brad is uniquely qualified to serve as the next leader of Pembroke Hill. During the in-depth selection process, his energy and enthusiasm for Pembroke Hill and our mission was evident to all. He is friendly, articulate, and will develop meaningful relationships within and outside the school community. Brad has a genuine passion for educating students and fostering in them 21st century skills, such as critical thinking, collaboration, personal responsibility, and global competency. These attributes and his experience at various independent schools, along with his Midwestern values, made him an excellent choice to lead our school into the future. Brad, will you join me to receive your charge? For over 100 years, the Sunset Hill School and Pembroke Country Day School, now the Pembroke Hill School, has been a place where students learn in an environment where expectations are high and excellence is expected, and where every student is known and supported, so together we cultivate the best in each for the benefit of all. Under your leadership, we entrust our mission will continue. Brad, on behalf of the Pembroke Hill Board of Trustees, it is a great honor to officially install you as the head of school. As the 25th leader of this school in an over 100-year history, I hereby charge you to honor and uphold the mission and traditions of the Pembroke Hill School, to be a champion for the education, development, and well-being of our students, to support and guide the faculty and staff in their essential work of inspiring curiosity, achievement, and a lifetime of learning through our academic program, to engage and connect with our diverse student, parent, and alumni communities, and to lead the Pembroke Hill School into the future with strength, compassion, and vision.
Thank you. Wow, it's terrific to be here with you this evening. And just for the record, I want everybody to know that before I started working for Charlie, I had a full set of hair. So that is, my situation is all the result of Charlie and working for Charlie at McDonogh. Thank you, Dema, Charlie Britton, Kimmy Nelson, Rebecca Wilson, members of the Board of Trustees, faculty, staff, family, and friends, and most importantly to the students. It is indeed an honor and privilege to be here introduced as the head of school at Pembroke Hill. First, there are several people who I'd like to acknowledge. Anne, your dedication to this community is extraordinary, and your leadership from the first moment we met across the interview table has meant the world to me. I cannot thank you enough for always being available, no matter the time of day or the topic. Thank you to our musicians, our facilities team, the transition team, and to my colleagues in Founders Hall, who dedicated hours to the many details of this event and made today possible. Steve Bellis, as we continue this head of school transition, I am so thankful to Steve for his extraordinary service to the school and for setting us on such a positive path to the future. Charlie, I've had the opportunity to work with some of the best heads of school in the country, but your mentorship and trust made an indelible impact on me. I will forever be grateful to you for taking a chance on me, not only once, but twice. You were an amazing role model and taught me about my responsibility as a mentor to others. Friends and family, I am thankful to you who are here today. Each of you has helped me to discover this path, and I'm eternally grateful. A special thank you to my mother and father who valued education and gave me the gift of attending terrific schools. And to my wonderful wife, Candace, who has partnered with me every step of the way on a joyful journey. Today, I feel like I'm the luckiest person in the world. My family and I have returned to the Midwest, a part of the country that we're intimately familiar with, where humility and sense of humor are valued, residing in a city where hard work, entrepreneurship, and innovation are alive and at its core, and now associated with a school that has wonderful people who are committed deeply to its students and understand the importance of goodness as well as knowledge. I'm not sure things could be better. My personal journey to Pembroke Hill began in August of 1990. I enrolled as a freshman at Cassidy School, an independent school in Oklahoma City very similar to Pembroke Hill. The experience at Cassidy changed my life in almost every way. I had great friends, was editor of the yearbook, played 3 sports, and received a great education. More importantly, it was there that I was taught by 2 faculty members, Mr. Gail Davis, an upper school math teacher, and Coach Virgil Grantham, my high school basketball coach, both who became an inspiration and mentor to me. It was not until a couple of years after I graduated that I realized it was these 2 teachers who influenced my decisions at a young age to pursue a career in education. They showed me how impactful the relationship can be between a teacher and student, and how mentorship can be transformative in a young person's life. Their influence was significant, and I thought that if I could be half the mentor to young people that they were to me, that I could pay it forward. And for the last 18 years, working in 4 independent schools, my North Star has been to try to inspire and make a difference in students' lives. Fast forward to April 16, 2018. That day is one I will never forget. I interviewed with the search committee here in Kansas City the committee led by Dema and Don Montague shared their passion for the school and eloquently highlighted three major themes: the quality of the student body and the talent among the faculty, staff, and administration, the importance of the school's values of respect, compassion, scholarship, and integrity, as well as the unparalleled success of the educational program, and the desire for Pembroke Hill not only to remain as the best independent school in Kansas City, but also looked upon as one of the premier schools in the country. What resonated with me during our conversation was the school's mission statement, together, cultivating the best in each for the benefit of all, and the school's motto, freedom with responsibility. Both in their fullness do not speak of me, but rather of us, our school, our neighborhoods, our city, our community, and our businesses. They remind us that our purpose as educators at Pembroke Hill is to develop our students for something beyond their own selves, to add to the common good, to seek the flourishing of the communities in which they live. From my perspective, these are two of the many attributes of excellence that distinguish Pembroke Hill as the premier college preparatory school in Kansas City. Ann and Don charged and inspired me to begin a journey of discovery to understand the joy and kindness of Pembroke Hill. And I've realized through my conversations, visits to campus, and during my short time as head of school, that they are present in every corner of this community. In the early childhood students and lower schoolers through their smiles, high fives, and unparalleled energy. In our middle schoolers who continue to choose to do the right thing even when it is hard. And in our upper schoolers who selflessly serve and lead our student body in school, and then continue their care as our amazing and dedicated alumni. I see the commitment and goodness in our parents through their powerful partnership with the school to raise wonderful young men and women. And the Board of Trustees who unselfishly give their gift of time and wisdom to help set the path and direction of this wonderful school. And finally, in our remarkable faculty, staff, and administration who give their love and dedication to their students and support and encourage each other on a daily basis. I feel incredibly lucky and humbled to partner with you to lead this outstanding school. So here we are, getting ready to commence on another school year. To all of our students gathered today, I ask you to keep the momentum going, to make a wholehearted commitment to creating great relationships with your teachers, advisors, and coaches. These relationships, like the ones I had with Mr. Davis and Coach Grantham, will lead to helping you become an even better person so that you can grow into an adult who gets it, who understands the sacred power of trust, the necessity of moral obligation, and the vital aspects of a healthy community. And finally, don't fear failure. Great people fail and fail and fail. The difference is that they are not daunted. They have the willpower and confidence to succeed. You're going to make mistakes. I am too, but make honest mistakes. The start of any school year brings great hope and expectation. You have an awesome opportunity to go for it this year, so go for it. Thank you, Pembroke Hill, for opening your hearts to me, Candace, Blythe, Braden, and Claire. We are so proud and honored to be a part of this great school, and we look forward to meeting each one of you and propelling Pembroke Hill during the next phase of our storied history. Today, we are going to start a new tradition. Moving forward at the beginning of each school year, faculty, staff, and students will come together, and at the end of the program, I will ring a bell to kick off the school year. So let's give this a try. And today, as the bell rings, I ask that everybody rise to the challenge, and I wish each one of you a great 2019-2020 school year. So we're going to ring the bell. Thank you very much. What I'd like to do now is, so the real reason why we're here is because there's an ice cream social that's out on the quad here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask all the students, early childhood through 12th grade, to follow me out to the quad for the ice cream social. Again, thank you for your warm welcome, and we are so happy and grateful to be here as part of Pembroke Hill. Thank you.